Hola y bienvenidos a ¿Qué hora es? I'm Danny Evans, your maestro de español. Now friends, over the next several episodes of the show, we'll be adding to your vocabulary on various topics, but we're also going to be helping you fill in those gaps by going over some topics that help you clean up your Spanish. Now we're covering one of those concepts today as we'll be talking about the difference between the words ¿qué and cuál. Now this is sometimes confusing for people learning Spanish, so hopefully today this will be a lot clearer to you. All right, and with that, let's go right to the classroom. Hey guys, welcome to the classroom today. Now, in this class session today, I want to go back, way back to season 1, and I want to grab two words that we learned a long time ago, and let's bring them together and discuss them a little bit, because if you're like me, when I first learned these two words, I thought I had them down, but then you start kind of wondering what's the difference. Okay, so today's classroom session is going to focus on the words ¿qué and cuál. So let's go ahead and put those up right there really quick on the board. First of all, ¿qué, remember, it has an accent on the E. Now, if you don't put that accent, you actually change the meaning of the word. This is a word, ¿qué, with no accent, that's used in subjunctive tense. It can be used in comparisons. So it's very important to put that accent on the E, because once again, those accents really can change the meaning. Now, the other word we're going to deal with today is right here. It's cuál. Remember, there's an accent on the A on cuál also. And also, native English speakers, soften that C up just as a quick reminder. If you're like me, I tend to say really harsh with that Germanic C that we have in English. But soften it up, cuál. Okay, so that was just a quick little pronunciation reminder. Now let's talk about the difference. When do I use ¿qué and when do I use cuál? I have students all the time ask me, what's the difference? Because you think in your mind that ¿qué means what and cuál means which. Now, you can generally view it that way. You can. But there are some cases in Spanish where they bleed over into one another just a little bit. You remember what I've told you before in previous episodes. You have rules in language, and then you have rule breakers. You have clear-cut lines, and then you have some things that aren't so clear-cut. All right, so this is one of those. Let's start out with the basic phrase here. We'll put it on the screen in English, and that's just simply the phrase, what is? We're asking what is something. Now that could be just tons of different sentences that we're starting with those words. It's different situations, different uses. So what is a very common thing to say in any language, especially Spanish. Now, whether we say ¿qué es or cuál es really depends on the situation. And that's really what we want to get into today, is discussing the difference. All right, now we'll erase this. Now, the first thing I want to tell you is that the first situation we'll talk about is definition. So let's start with this example here. We'll put it up. ¿Qué significa? ¿Qué significa? It means, what does it mean? So you're asking, ¿qué significa nadar en español? You're asking, what does this mean? All right, now, this is a good example because, like I said, the first condition under which we use ¿qué is definition. When you're asking the definition of something, you have no starting point really, and you're asking what something is, you just really don't have an idea. So this is a good starter. So ¿qué significa? In that case, we would use ¿qué. All right, so we'll clear that one. We'll get another example here. We've all heard this phrase before, ¿qué hora es? Right? We know a show named that. Now, ¿qué hora es? What time is it? It could be anything. We're really starting from we have no starting point there. So we're asking ¿qué hora es? What time is it? And then here's another one right here. ¿Qué raza es tu perro? ¿Qué raza es tu perro? What breed is your dog? We really have no starting point there. And also raza can imply breed. You may have learned that word before as race, but when you're speaking of dogs, it could be breed as well. Okay, so these examples show you that we really have no starting point. We're asking for a definition of something. All right, let's move into some other instances here. Now, let's put up the verb ser really quick. The verb ser, S-E-R. This goes way back to season 1. The verb to be, we're asking about someone's permanent condition, their occupation, place of origin, identification, nationality. All those things are conditions under which we use ser. Now, all other ser conjugations, we've already talked about es, but soy, eres and somos and sois and son, pretty much we're going to use cuál whenever we're using ser conjugations, okay? So let's do a little bit of comparison here. We'll erase the board. Now let's compare some sentences really quick. First of all, look at this one. ¿Cuál es tu nombre? ¿Cuál es tu nombre? Now that one, we can really kind of view it as it's more popular to say it that way. We just have to say it's more popular, more common to say it that way. But again, when you're asking someone's name, we think of names as this bank of names, and which one is it? Because it could really be anything, but we use cuál, it's more common. Now, let's look at this one right here. ¿Qué es un nombre? ¿Qué es un nombre? So why did we use cuál in the first one and qué in the second one? Well, I'll tell you, because in the first one, like I said, we're asking which one is your name. There's, like I say, there's a set of names. There's thousands and thousands, but still, we're kind of which one is yours. But when you say, ¿qué es tu nombre? You're really asking, what is a name? You're asking for its definition. Okay, give you a couple more examples here. ¿Cuál es su novio? So you're in a room, which one is your boyfriend? But if you say, ¿qué es su novio? Okay, you're kind of asking not what is a boyfriend, you're asking what does he do for a living is one way to look at it. Okay, so what is he? In other words, his occupation. Okay, now I'm going to give you some examples really quick of other uses. First of all, somebody says, Estoy buscando mi gato. Estoy buscando mi gato. And then if somebody replies like this and they say, ¿Qué gato? It's asking what cat. In other words, we don't know. And it might be saying, you have a cat? It's kind of the implied meaning there. All right, once again, we have Estoy buscando mi gato. Now, if somebody says, ¿Cuál gato? Okay, I'm looking for my cat. Which cat? Maybe, see, that more of implies I might have 2 or 3 cats. Which one are you looking for? Which one are you talking about? Okay, well, now let's go to another instance. We'll clear the board. When we're talking about the differences between, we're usually saying choose one or the other, or from a group, we're usually using cuál. And this really does match up with the English saying which. Okay, so here's an example. ¿Cuál es la diferencia entre ser y estar? What is the difference between ser and estar? So really, which one is it you're saying? Which one do I use in which situation? Okay, another example here. ¿Cuál prefieres? Now that example is very clear. It's which. You have a set of something, 2 of something, 3, 5. Which one do you prefer? ¿Cuál prefieres? All right, here's another one. ¿Cuál debo elegir? What should I choose? Which one? We say what, but this is kind of like the set. Which one should I choose? Okay, now here's a quick test for you. I want you to try these out and you determine what I use, ¿cuál or qué? Now in Spanish, I'm going to put up 4 sentences here, actually in English. Now you in Spanish try to determine which one I would use. Which car is yours? Which car is yours? Okay? Now you determine which one you would use, ¿cuál or qué? Here's the next one. What is a verb? You're asking, what is a verb? I don't know. Okay, the next one, which type is the best? You've got a set and you're asking which one's the best. And what is the problem? What's the problem? And that one may be a little bit tricky for you. Okay, so let's go back really quick and just tell you which one you would use for each one. So number 1 was which car is yours? That would be ¿cuál? Okay, which one you're choosing. Now the next one said, what is a verb? There again, we're asking for the definition. We don't know which, what is that? So you're saying ¿qué? So you'd use ¿qué es? Now the next one, which type is the best? ¿Cuál? And what is the problem? We would use ¿cuál for that also. Kind of implies what's going on here, which one is the issue here. Now, I want to give you a few homework questions really quick. Now, write these down. I'm going to go kind of fast, but you can rewind if you need to. Number 1, de blank color. de blank color. And you fill in the blank with which one. Number 2 says a blank hora. A blank hora. Number 3, blank es la fruta que más te gusta. And the last one, blank desea. All right, I know I've given you a lot to deal with here. You do those questions, and next time we're in class, we'll go over the answers together and move on to some new material. Well, friends, that's about it for today's episode. Now, I hope you'll be practicing your Spanish as much as possible. Get on the internet and stream some Spanish channels from other countries. Listen to some music, but most of all, speak it as much as you can. Now, if you have a comment or question for me, feel free to email me at programming@aibtv.com. I'd love to hear about your success in learning Spanish and also answer any questions that you may have. But until I see you again, I wish for you and yours paz y bendiciones. We'll see you next time.